however, the mother goddess, replaced them with the male god, to whom the female deities became subservient. The scientific revolution of the 17th century further degraded the nature by replacing has the role in the conservation, and then with the patriarchy the role changed in the role of woman actually has shown to be changed. That is, we cannot see the woman as the heroine, but we get the main as the main hero. Okay, so the whenever the patriarchy is there, then the woman always suffers. So similarly, wherever the goddess were the deities were or the goddess were devoted, then very slowly the patriarchy reached there, and then the gods had the masculine power. Okay, and then they became more powerful than the goddess. So that is where the actual scenario in the nature conservation also changed. So let us come how actually how the ecofeminism uh, concept built up. Okay, we all know that the Chipko movement was there in the India, then the Green Belt movement in the Kenya, and then the term ecofeminism came forward, and then as it is ecofeminism in the sense the ecology and the woman both are together, and this term was first introduced by Francois Youthborn in 1974. So she actually first said that there is an ecology and the women, they both are working together. So this term is much, this term should be there for the ecofeminism where there is no any main introduced. Okay, this is the term where only the ecology, only the environment and the woman, they are always together. Okay, and then it was underlined term, and they contradicted between the production and reproduction and tried to reverse the adverse effect of the production on biological as well as social reproduction. But the ecofeminism highlights the connection between the capitalism, patriarchy, and the linkage between woman and nature. Then the woman, she became that the ecofeminism actually had some strands or some ethics regarding the liberal, radical, and socialist movements. Okay, so it was just a movement where number of other activists like Vandana Shiva, you must be knowing her, and Bina Agarwal, they also work on the same term, that is the ecofeminism. Okay, and the ecofeminism, the term, as we said, it came around during 1970s, and it increased the consciousness of the connection of women with the nature. The movements of all the world that are dedicated to the continuation of life on the earth, like Chipko movement in India, then as I said, the Green Belt movement in Kenya, then also there were the movements in Europe against some of the metallic uses which causes the cancer. So such type of the movements, on this such type of the movements, actually the number of women, they have registered such type of the enforcing contents on that, and then they work against these type of the imposing ideas of the patriarchy. Okay, then so the movement, they protest against the ecological destruction, the threat of atomic destruction of life on earth, that is a new development in biotechnology, then the genetic engineering and the reproductive technology. They discovered the connection between patriarchal domination and violence against women and the colonization of non-Western, non-white people and nature. Okay, so let me tell you that whenever the whenever I say the patriarchy, why such? Because when we said about the biotechnology, the genetic engineering, or the development, the term development, whenever comes, there is a masculine feature which is seen. Okay, always the main required the development. Yes, the female also, the women also require the development. They also greet the development, because of the development, because of the technology, the life of women has become very much easier. I know, since my mother was there, and before her also, there was no any machinery, there was no mixer, there was no any washing machine and all, and they suffered more. And compared to that, we are having a much easy life only because of the machines. But so we do welcome the development, but this industrial development, whenever such type of the development they disturb the nature, then we women they suffer more. Because just for instance, you can just see that if the natural resources nearby are getting disrupted, then the woman gets suffer. How? Because she has to otherwise go far away to get the water, to get the drinking waters. There are many villages there, many rural areas there, where they have to, that the woman only has to suffer for the water, to get the water at the home. So if such type of the whatever if they want to get some woods for their chulas and all, then for that also they will have to go far, because whatever the natural resources were there, they are now no more, or they are cut. And then the woman has to go far to get all the content, all the requirements that to fulfill or for their daily routine. Okay, so this is how the woman actually they suffers, and they don't want to disrupt. They always they um, protest against the destruction of the nature. So the destruction can be of any type. It can be the trees are getting cut, or the different types of industries are coming there. If different type of the atomic or any, even not only that, but the um, even the crops are, that is the hybrid seeds, they are not welcomed by the women actually. Okay, the hybrid seeds, what they does, see, my PhD is in Alosin Korakena, that is, we in Marathi we call it as Nachni or Raki. Okay, so that is what the Nachni we know, Alosin Korakena we know that it is now used in the diabetes and all. So, but when I started my PhD and I wanted to get the local varieties, local and pure varieties, I could not get. I could not get the seeds for the same. Why? Because there were seeds in the market, and even in the industry, I mean, in the institutes, the seeds were hybrid. Okay, they were not of the wild type. I wanted the wild type varieties, but I could not get. I suffered more to get such type of the varieties. So actually, this is what the problem. Because why we need the wild type? Because the wild type varieties, we all women know that the wild type varieties, whenever they are there, they will be behaving, or they will be having all required contents for the nature, for the human being. And when we hybrid them for our benefits, that is just to get the population, or to meet with the population, or to get extra, that is the more yield, we can say. To get the more yield, we use the hybrid varieties, that is just for the marketing purpose. Just the whoever cultivate them, they get more, might be getting more money for that. But if you think of the nutritive values of that, then the wild varieties has more nutritive values than the hybrid one. Okay, so we all know that we are undergoing number of other health issues because we are having the hybrid varieties. Okay, so this is the problem where the woman actually works for. She wants the pure and wild varieties, or pure and wild contents of any organic matters which are welcomed by her. Okay, because she takes a care of her family, and she need each and everything perfect for her family. And just for that purpose, when I said that is the cultivated, because seeds can be sown, you can get the food and you can have them at your own. So she must have started, because the men were having masculine power and they used to go for the hunt, and she was there at home just to take care of the home, the child, and the elder ones, right? So she must have observed that certain plants can be cultivated, certain animals uh, can be kept at home as just protect themselves from the whatever the other type of the beast is. But then she started conserving them, and then they became pet. So the to bring some animals from the wildlife to the home is also must be the practice of the woman itself. Okay, so this is also one of the feature which tells that the woman has the natural conservative uh, value. Okay, she has the value, and so she works for them. Then when the term ecofeminism comes, then of course we should talk about the ecofeminist. That is, she is the ecofeminist, and she was the Indian scholar, and she was active against the GMO movement. Okay, so GMO movement, as I said, it is a genetically modified, and then she also said that there should be wild type varieties that should be used. And then in the ecofeminism, Vandana Shiva told about number of things through which number of things and number of concepts through which the woman otherwise uh, goes through. Okay, and then I'm just searching for the quote that she said. She was the most prominent and eco-feminist in India, and her work was categorized as belonging to radical strand of ecofeminism. Her critique the entire development model and its effects on the environment place her more the side of the socialist framework. She analyzed modern science and technology as a Western patriarchal and colonial projects, which is inherently violent and perpetuate the violence against women and nature. So what she said is actually, again, the patriarchy comes each and everywhere. Okay, their subsistence base can become the common ground for women liberation and preservation of life on the earth. Then Gabriel Dietrich, she pointed out that the woman, whatever the Shiva said, that is means she was not agreed with the Vandana Shiva's thinking, but she said that yes, because of the hierarchical and the subordination and patriarchal and violence tradition in the tribal and peasant communities. So, in some communities, the women are neglected. Otherwise, the work of women for nature, it is always been yes, it was always been given, say that it was admitted by the people. Okay, the whatever the woman does. See, not only the scholars, but also, so because I have taken the number of the photos of the scholars, but this is, she is Rai Bai Kopre, and she born in 64, so she is not that much older. But what, she is a very common lady. She's a very common lady, but what she has done is she tried. Just I said that woman always tries to get the way. So they plant the seeds were not of only fruits and not only of some the she only conserved, so it was not for the pulses and the cereals and the fruit trees only, but she also conserved the seeds for the grasses. So she said that the seeds of wild grass, they also should be sown, and the wild grass should also be preserved, because it happens that whenever there is whenever the pesticides are operated, and because of the pesticides, what happens is the destruction of uh, the pest might be getting means they must be killed, but what happens is there are hazardous effects of these pesticides on the human being. And also it is now some days before, you must have seen that it was said that if the honeybees will not be there, then within 4 to 5 years, the uh, entire human being will not be there. So it is the that is it is a cycle of the nature, that because the honeybees are there, the pollination takes place, and because of the pollination, the seeds are born, and because the seeds are born, we are there. And if such pollination will not be happening, or if the bees will not be there, then what will happen? Eventually, these all will get disrupted. So see, the tiny honeybee is also has importance. So she, the Rahibai Soma Popre, she is such a ordinary lady, but she has done much more work for the nature. What she has done is she has collected all type of the wild varieties, wild seeds, and now and then she is now known as the mother, seed mother. Okay, it is said here the scientist Raghunath Mashelkar, he he called her as a seed mother. Okay, so and then actually we also started collecting the seeds, and then throwing them anywhere where they can grow. Okay, very important is she worked on the wild varieties. She wanted the seeds of wild varieties and not the hybrid. See, there are a number of hybrid crops which cannot germinate. The seeds present there may not germinate, not be wild varieties. They also has the ability Rashtrapati. And then we'll come to the next. She worked, or she has number of books on the feminism. Okay, and where she concluded her thoughts about the woman and the nature itself, how the woman are how the woman plays important role in the conservation of nature. Okay, and what she said is, so the book, the name of the book is the A Field of One's Own. Okay, and it was her famous work, and then where the woman situation is told by her. And what she says is, whenever the women are exploited, it is not the exploitation of the woman itself, but it is the exploitation of the nature equally. Okay, so and it is vice versa, means if the women are getting exploited, the nature is getting exploited, and when the nature is getting exploited, the woman also get exploited. So it is vice versa, and it happens in both the way, that woman and the nature both are having uh, a very strong bond within them. Then when I said about the ecofeminism, ecofeminism, then certainly there it comes the the nature of the ecofeminism, which says that the existence and importance of the nature and the woman, how both of them are strongly bounded. So ecofeminism, it defines as is defined as the value system or social movement and the practice which also offers a political analysis that explores the link between andro between the androcentrism and environmental destruction. It is an awareness that begins with the realization that the exploitation of nature is intimately linked to the Western man's attitude towards the woman and tribal cultures. Okay, so when I said that is most of the practices which comes from the Western countries and that are also practiced in our country, and because of that the woman get exploited. There is a philosopher, that is Karen Warren. It conceptualized that cannot get the main out of that circle from the woman, out of the circle of the woman and the nature also, because there is the connection between the human and the nature. But in that human we are just bifurcating the male and female in two ways, and we are just talking about the female, that is a woman, and the nature togetherness. Why? Because the men always have uh, the ability and have always intention to not to conserve the not to conserve the nature, but he has the ability just to master the nature. He just want to each and to master each and every society around him, and so just to get the mastery, what he does is he build something new which is made by the human being. So that is what the human impact on the nature should be there. Okay, so we don't want the nature should have the mastery on the human beings, but the human should, or the man should master the nature. This is what the the idea behind the exploitation. Okay, then there are different configurations of the ecofeminism. When I say the ecofeminism, that is the together, that is the ecology and the woman together, and there are uh, some concepts to be to discuss with. That is some of the one of the concept is liberal feminism. Okay, so what is a liberal feminism? The liberal feminism means it is a feminism since its beginning in the 17th century until 1960s. So when each individual maximizes hers or his own productive potential and optimal society can be made. So when the concept of reproduction comes, there also the woman, when I said earlier that the woman actually started conservation, taking the conservation, taking the uh, care of and care of the nature, and also the conservation and preservation of the nature when we started practicing. See, since from the seed we can say, when the seeds are sown, then the seed it germinates, the plant grows, then it flowers, it fruits, and then again the seeds are given. So this is the reproductive cycle that goes on. Okay, and that is what the intention of the life is. Okay, the reproduction is the most important intention of the life. So as the seed, as the plant itself, it germinates, as the seed germinates, it has its um, own clone, not the clone, but it has its own um, reflection within the, that is the seed from the, say for example, if the seed is from the mango tree, then it will form the mango tree itself. So that is what the reflection I mean. So it forms its own reflection. The same way, the human being through the woman, they can form the reflection of the human being itself. So this is what the idea, or this is this thread must be must have fascinated the woman to take care of the nature, because this is the motherhood nature of the woman. So when we talk about the liberal feminism, that is the environmental problems, whenever they comes, that is all these environmental problems that might be from the because of the rapid development of the industries, or because of the pollution, or because of the pesticide use of pesticides, over exploitation by men, then at that time the woman, she had taken stand against such type of the exploitation. Whenever you see, I'm not having um, the photo, I just forgot to take it. That I was having the photo of Chipko movement. Okay, you must have seen, or you must have heard about the Chipko movement. So what was the Chipko movement? Whenever the Chipko movement was, whenever the people from having some industries, they wanted to build up the industries at that region, and they wanted to cut down the trees. And when the male were not there, all the male were out of that city, and then all women, they went there, they hugged these trees, and they just protest against the cutting of the trees. Okay, so this was the Chipko movement. When we said about, that is always the women, they may protest each and everything where where they feel that the nature is getting exploited and we should conserve it. Okay, so this was a totally woman fascinated movement, where the women and the children, they had taken part, and they said you can cut us but not the trees. Okay, so this is what the intention of the woman, where she has that ability to protest. Otherwise she is always getting exploited, but she can protest even. So all the people have seen that how she can do it. Then there is a cultural feminism. The cultural feminism that also uh, is related with the ecofeminism, and in response to that, the perception is that the woman and the nature have mutually associated and evaluated in Western culture. The Sherry Ortner, this is an author. What he said is, he has actually raised the question that if the female and male are the nature and to the culture. Okay, if the male and female both are working for the nature and the culture, and then we can say that actually this is again the duty of the woman itself, where she can work for the nature as well as for the culture, because the woman, she only raise the children, she only takes the part in each and every cultural activities, and through the cultural activities, the nature is, she tries to conserve the nature. See, there are many festivals related with the which are related with the nature itself, and these festivals are followed by the women. Okay, why? Because some should take care of that, and woman actually, she has she always like to follow the what rituals. And then, because, and also this woman is the goddess, and because the goddess rituals is the main practice by the woman itself, and why she continues it, only because she, through that, she wants to conserve the nature. See, there are many festivals which are related with the nature itself. In Maharashtra, we follow the Naga Panchami, that is the conservation of the snakes. Then we do the Vata Puja, that is the conservation of these banyan trees. So there are many, even in Ganpati, because from Maharashtra, I'm just talking about the Maharashtra itself. So there are many. These are the some of the festivals which are followed in the Maharashtra, and in Ganpati also we collect number of weeds. We call them as weeds because they are not otherwise required. But some akhada or some durva, some there are many sonkis we call it as, these are the Marathi or local names I'm talking about. So there are some weeds or weed plants. They are collected and they are worshipped along with the Lord Ganesha. Why such? Because through that practices, or otherwise we can just see that on this must be, you must be knowing about the Bela Patra. Okay, what is the Bela Patra? The Bela Patra is used for the Lord Shankara. So what is done is that why the Belapatra is used. The Belapatra also has number of alkaloids, okay, and those alkaloids are actually essential for number of illness within us. So these all itself, she always collect each and every, or even the tulsi, ossimum sanctum we call it as in Cockney, of course, but it is a tulsi. The tulsi, why we keep the tulsi in front of our home? Because it has number of medicinal effects. Um, if late night you feel some fever, you can just have decoction of the tulsi leaves and then you may feel better. So this is how these all content should be there nearby you, and if you will get such plants near, if you cultivate and conserve such plants under around your home itself, then what you will do, you can anytime use them for your um, beneficial purpose. Means late night also, if you need any plant, you can get it and you can get the decoction, or you can get the juice of that, and you may consume them just for your relief. So the medicinal plant, what is the main concept behind is number of medicinal plants are there, and these all medicinal plants are cultivated whenever the woman get chance. She always get the pots. If they are staying in the balconies, I mean they are staying in the flats and having balconies, or if they are having some space around them, then she has the tendency to cultivate something. She may try to get a kitchen garden also. Okay, she will try for the kitchen garden just to get the fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, I can say. She may try to get fresh this coriander, kothimir we call it as a coriander. Okay, so whenever she could get such type of the easily available fruits or the vegetables, then she tries for that. So this is what the tendency of the woman to conserve the nature anyhow. So I talk about much about the plants, but this is same. I have started with one of the point, but let me come to the next slide. You must be knowing her very well, and she is, of course, she is Medha Patkar, and no, it was very, must be, I just should not uh, disclose her how much older she is, I just do not know, but so sorry. um, we know always she is the Meda partner and Patkar, and what she has done is she is the activist. And when she came into the light, because she worked for the Narmada Bachao. Okay, so Narmada Bachao Andolan was taken by her. She was leaded by her, and number of other activists also they joined her. We all know that Baba Amte and number of the celebrities were behind her, and they also so she was a strong, she is a strong lady, and she, wherever the exploitation is taking place, exploitation of nature is taking place, uh, then the Medha Patkar and number of such activists, they goes there and they just protest for the conservation of nature. So there are many. When I started with the lecture, I said that each and every woman has the ability or has the tendency to conserve the nature. And these are some, only 4 to 5 pictures I have taken of the activists, because they have done much more. Even though I said about the scholars, even though they might not be getting into the field, but they have written number of through the literature, they are active for the woman itself, that is the feminism itself. And they had said about the ecofeminism, because the ecofeminism, it relates the woman, that is woman with the nature. So there is a term, when I have taken my lecture point is about the nature, natural conservation, and the woman. So I just try to get number try to natural resources are many, that is the plants, the animals, the water, and the soil. So there are many natural resources. Even, yes, I just wanted to I would just like to add, that is, even though the soils are getting polluted, whenever we say that, whenever the woman says she observed that the soil must be getting polluted, then she will try to again reform the soil. Okay. So when I said about the Rahibai, that is one more point is there. That is, she also trains the people. I don't know if I have written here, but she now trains. Yes, see, to bring the soil into the, that is infertile soil, into the fertile one. That it takes some patience, right? So if the soil are infertile, then you will have to mix some organic contents into that. That is, it may be farmyard manure or any organic content. Okay, or the FY farmyard I said about, but the earthworm. Okay, so that all can be mixed into the soil, and the infertile soil can be converted into fertile one, and anything can be sown there, so that it will germinate. The seed can be germinated. Only the condition is that seed should have the ability to germinate, because, as I said, it should not be of it should be of wild type and should not be of hybrid type. Okay, because the wild type conservation is now much important, is nowadays much important. We are, again, I don't know about you people, but in Konkan, I'm belonging to Konkan, and in Konkan we were getting some red colored rice. Okay, it was a wild variety over here, and it was red colored rice. And when we cooked them, it was becoming very sticky, and it had its own taste. Okay, we don't need to have put any salt in that, but it had only its own taste of salty and sticky one. But now, eventually, when we went for the hybrid varieties, then what happened is, nowadays we are not getting that seeds again. And then the moment, because we are having here the Krushi Vidyapit KKV, that is Konkan Krushi Vidyapit nearby, they started again collecting the seeds for the wild varieties. And then um, uh, the efforts were taken for that, and then these seeds are now conserved, and now we are again getting that same variety. But even though there are some changes have taken place in that, but let it be, we are again coming back to the wild one. Okay, so this is how actually there are many points. Actually, I don't know how much time I should have. I must have spoken for 50 to 50 minutes something. Okay, so yeah, one more thing is, I have not placed one more photo who work for the they say the to just to um, the woman itself, they are having affinity with such type of the organisms. So not only to the certain corners of the nature, but each and every corner of the nature is conserved and is loved by the woman itself. And thank you very much. Can I please stop now? I'm to the end of the lecture, and yes,
Yes, madam, you can start.
yes. Thank you very much for calling me, and I have given my 100%. I think I want, but also before ecofeminism concept and after ecofeminism concept, the women themselves are trying to conserve the nature in any way. Okay. Thank you very much, and thank you for calling me for the lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very good lecture on the topic role of woman in conservation of natural resources or ecofeminism. Now, after this, the topic is open for questions and answers. So, I request participants if they have any question or answer. Sorry, questions and problems, please. Once again, I request participants if they have any question or problem, please put it before Honorable Ma'am for answer and explanation.
Okay, before leaving, uh, hello. Yeah, before leaving, I should say that you should follow. You all people should follow one activity, because then the rain will be there. You please collect some seeds, whichever seeds you are getting around you. Just keep them together, and then you can sow them when the rain will be there. Okay, so during rainy season, you just throw them away so that they will germinate. They will take care of themselves. Okay, but uh, indirectly you will conserve the nature. Thank you.
Thanks.
uh, it was very nice topic related to all. And strange thing is that yesterday I requested you to join as a resource person, and within 24 hours you prepared so nice and perfectly and delivered a topic. You said the relation of women for conserving the nature, and you also given few examples those who are from well-known personalities, those who have issued the prize from the Honorable President of India, and all the nature-loving nature of the women, and how they are contributing from ancient age to today now. So it was very best topic for us, and all have enjoyed this one, and they get the information. Also, they get the message from you to conserve the nature. But basically from Konkan, and Konkan is rich from of the greenery, and naturally we have impact on your life also regarding the richness of your nature. You also recommended few medicinal plants, those we use daily, and we have its importance, medicinal uses of that. Thank you, madam, for joining here as a resource person, and thank you from organizing committee members.
Thank you, sir, for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Now, on behalf of organizing committee of webinar series, Shri Kumarswami College Ausa, I am here to present vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank today's honorable speaker, Dr. Sonali Kadam ma'am, who has accepted the invitation of our college and delivered a very nice lecture on the topic and made us aware about the environmental conservation and natural resources. She has particularly talked about role of women in conservation of natural resources, or in other words, ecofeminism. So thank you, ma'am, on behalf of the organizing committee of the college, and I also thank Honorable Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series, Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar Sir, who has delivered his concluding words, and he has expressed his studious opinion about today's keynote speech, and also he is the man behind this successful webinar series, who is helping all of us to get enriched through the keynote speeches by different keynote speakers. So on behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series, I thank you, sir. I also thank all the participants for their punctual participation, patient listening, and active participation in the discussion session. Thank you, participants. I thank Dr. Anita Dole ma'am, who has given very good introduction of today's honorable keynote speaker. And now at the end,
Thank you, madam. We will keep this webinar for 5 minutes for filling the things that you can leave and take rest. Thank you, madam.
UGC रेकॉर्ड जर्नलमध्ये टाकत राहायचं शिकले इंग्लिशच्या. मी पण 2 तारखेला शेवटीच आहे. 2 तारखेला काय बदल असतो 2